Hey guys, it's Byron here and welcome to Byron's Reviews. Today I am going to be showing you my Asylum movie collection, and I think I have 53 films here in total, and I'm going to try and say a little bit about each film, but only a little bit, otherwise we'd be here forever. And some of these films are like German DVDs and basically from lots of regions, basically because I've just got the ones that are cheapest for me to get. But without any further ado, let's begin. To start off with, we have this 2012 box set, which includes 2012 Doomsday and 2012 Ice Age. And I don't think 2012 Armageddon is an Asylum film, so I'm not including that, but I haven't seen these two yet, but I will at some point. And now we have 30,000 Leagues Under the Sea, an adaptation of the book 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. And while it is quite slow at times, the actor Sean Lawler really pulls it through, and his character Nemo was pretty great in my opinion. Now we have AE Apocalypse Earth, a Thunder Levin film, which is very good. Thunder Levin is just a fantastic director, and he made that a fun sci-fi film as a result. Then we have Age of Dinosaurs, directed by Joseph J. Lawson, which is just a very fun over-the-top B-movie. And here we have another Thunder Levin film, American Warships, and I'll link my review of this film in the description. Then American Warships 2, also known as Bermuda Tentacles, because it isn't really an American Warship sequel, it was just called that in Germany. But it's a fun, like, action-y sort of film. I enjoyed it. Then we have Atlantic Rim. And Atlantic Rim is another fun film about sea monsters fighting robots, so how can you go wrong with that? Then we have AV, Alien vs. Hunter, AVH, sorry, which is a very flawed film in a lot of ways, but it's still fun and it does have a certain cheesy factor to it. Now we have a triple feature, which includes The Land That Time Forgot, 100 Million BC, and Princess of Mars, all of which I haven't seen yet. And very similar to that, we have this one that includes Meteor Apocalypse, I believe this one's called Monster, and 2012 Supernova, and I haven't seen these yet either. Now we have Dragon Quest, which I'll link my full review of this in the description also. And from the same director as that film, Mark Atkins, we have Dragon Crusaders, even though I haven't seen this film yet either. Now we have Drive at 200 miles an hour, also known as just 200 miles an hour. It was written by Thunder Levin, and it's just a fun, fast-paced, edgy sort of street racer film, which I did like. Now we have Haunting of Winchester House, which is a very generic haunted house movie, but if you like the genre, then I suppose there are quite a few things to like about it. Now we have Invasion, also known as H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds, and this film really surprised me. It has a great atmosphere, a fantastic lead actor, C. Thomas Howell, and is in my opinion better than the Steven Spielberg version. It's definitely the Asylum film that has the highest production value that I've seen, in my opinion. Then we have Journey to Middle-earth, also known as Journey to the Centre of the Earth, which I haven't seen yet. King of the Lost World, which I haven't seen yet. Lord of the Elves, also directed by Joseph J. Lawson, which was a surprisingly well-made little fantasy film. And now a Megaphone, directed by David Michael Latt, who also directed Invasion, that we saw earlier. And this is a very well-made disaster movie that I enjoyed quite a bit. Now we have Mega Piranha, which is a very fun monster movie. It has a lot of fun over the top moments. Mega Python vs Gatoroid, which is pretty much like the same kind of deal as Mega Piranha. Stars Debbie Gibson and Tiffany. Also starring Debbie Gibson, we have Mega Shark vs Giant Octopus, which I will link my full review to in the description. And the third film in the Mega Shark series is Mega Shark vs Mecha Shark, which in my opinion lost a lot of the charm of the first two movies, but there is a lot to like about it still. And now we have the fourth film in the Mega Shark series, Mega Shark vs Colossus, which is my least favourite, but it's not bad, I guess. Now we have Mercenaries, a really cool action film with an all-female team, and it has quite a muddled tone. Sometimes it's really light-hearted and over the top, and in others it gets quite dark, and I'm not sure it really fits together that well. Here we have Merlin and the War of the Dragon Empire, also known as Merlin and the War of the Dragons, which I haven't seen yet, but I do plan on seeing it. Now we have Moby Dick, a film that I thought was pretty fun actually, and pretty well written, even though that's probably because it's based off the original book, obviously, and I think it took a lot of the dialogue from it, I think anyway. Then we have Nazis at the Centre of the Earth, a film that is probably decently made, but because it has a lot of torture in it, it did make me feel quite uncomfortable. Then we have the Shark Attack Pack, which includes Two-Headed Shark Attack, which I thought had a great concept, but it didn't utilise the two-headed shark enough. Mega Shark vs Crocosaurus, which is my favourite film in the Mega Shark series, because it has some of the most over-the-top pieces of dialogue in all of these B movies, in my opinion. And Shark Island, which, like Two-Headed Shark Attack, had a great concept, but it never fully utilised it. Now we have the king of B movies, Sharknado, which has likable characters, and by playing it ironically serious, this film is just very entertaining and has lots of over-the-top moments. And it's the same thing with Sharknado 2, the second one pretty much, except it kind of amps it up even more in my opinion. And now we have Sharknado 3, Oh Hell No, which is, I think, the most over-the-top film in the Sharknado series, and it's my favourite. And probably my least favourite in the series, Sharknado The Fourth Awakens. I feel it tried to do a bit too much for its own good, but it still has a lot to love for Sharknado fans. Now, the Sharknado documentary, Sharknado Feeding Frenzy, is actually really interesting. It goes through lots of the stages of how Sharknado came to be. It's a very solid documentary that I'd recommend. Now we have Sherlock Holmes, which is really over the top and hilarious. It's basically Sherlock Holmes with dinosaurs, giant sea monsters, robots. It's quite crazy. And here we have Sinbad the Persian Prince, also known as the Seven Adventures of Sinbad, which I haven't seen this film yet, but I've listened to the soundtrack and it is pretty awesome. Now we have Street Racer, another street racing film which I haven't seen yet. Now we have The Day the Earth Stopped, which I haven't seen yet either, but it's obviously a mockbuster of The Day the Earth Stood Still. Now we have The Giant Killer, also known as Jack the Giant Killer, which I thought it was alright. It was fairly muddled, and I just find it really funny seeing how they include a lot of British stereotypes because it's set it in Britain, and it's quite funny. Okay, here we have The Terminators, which is a fun little action film, quite gory too if you like that. Now we have Titanic 2, which I haven't seen yet, but sounds hilarious. Now we have Transmorphers, a film that actually has a really interesting vision of the future with a lot of its set design and stuff. So it's a fun little sci-fi film, even though it's maybe a bit too ambitious for its own good. Then we have the prequel to that, Transmorphers Fall of Man, which is also a fun little fantasy film, even though it maybe drags a bit in the second half. Now we have Universal Soldiers, which I haven't seen yet, and a double feature that includes War of the Worlds 2, The Next Wave, which is a sequel to that Invasion film I showed you earlier, and it's a much inferior sequel in terms of production value, but I guess it's a fun little sci-fi film. And last but not least, we have Zombies, which is very fun and entertaining. Like a lot of these other creature features I've shown, it's just hilarious seeing all these, both CGI and practical creature effects, and it's very over the top. So I hope you enjoyed seeing my Asylum collection. If you want me to do any more collection videos in the future, like collection videos of another kind of movie or some other games console, maybe how many games I have for the Game Boy, for instance, anything like that, if you'd like to see it, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.